I've heard it said before that the Google Ad Grant is only something that's useful for larger churches, but that just really couldn't be further from the truth. In fact, I think that the Google Ad Grant is a uniquely great opportunity for small churches. Let me tell you why. Well, hey guys, I'm Thomas here from ReachRight. We put out new content like this every week, so if this is the kind of video that helps you and your church, it would mean a lot to me if you would hit the subscribe button. Now, one thing that never stops being amazing to me is that I hear all the time from people that think that the Google Ad Grant is something only for large churches. If you don't know, and maybe you're new here, Google gives churches and nonprofits $10,000 every single month in free ads on their platform. So it's basically a free $10,000 a month marketing budget if you're using it correctly. But I wanted to take a second to dispel this myth once and for all. No, the Google Ad Grant is not just for large churches. In fact, I think it's more effective for small churches. And I wanted to take a second to break down how small churches can be using the Google Ad Grant in order to get the best results. But maybe you're wondering, am I even eligible for the grant? Well, most churches are, but to be sure, we have a super easy to use grant eligibility checker, and you can find out once and for all if your church is eligible. I have a link to it down in the description, so be sure to check that out. And the first and most obvious reason why it's great for small churches is because it's free advertising. Whereas churches of thousands of people may have thousands of dollars every month to be investing in marketing, many small churches are just trying to make ends meet. So to have $10,000 in free marketing budget, it really is something that is game-changing. I've been helping churches use this when I started with my own church back in 2013, and that small church of 30 or 40 people when we started using it consistently saw 10 to 15 visitors every single week and grew into a medium-sized church. Now, was the Google Grant the only thing we did? Well, of course not, but I can tell you that over and over again, we're able to correlate first-time visitors with people that saw us through Google Ads. It is something that absolutely changed the trajectory of our church, and I think it's a uniquely great opportunity for small churches. One of the great things about the Google Grant is it actually lets you get very specific with your targeting. Now, a lot of people think that just because the grant is free money, we might as well keep our audience as broad as possible, but in reality, it's still better to hone your audience and get really specific. You want to focus your efforts right around your church because frankly, people aren't going to be driving for hours to come to worship with you, especially at smaller churches where you probably don't have as big of an online presence as maybe a mega church does. The Google Grant lets you focus right in a few mile radius around your church. The Google Grant is also great for small churches because it allows you to promote specific events that your church is hosting in your community. For a lot of smaller churches, your events are primarily for your own people and not outreach focused, but the Google Grant can help you really broaden that. My small church used to host an Easter egg hunt every year that we did at a local community center, and we used the Google Grant to promote that and got hundreds of families to come out, and we got to make a connection with them. So for smaller churches, nothing really matches it when it comes to expanding your reach and helping get the word out about your events. One of the biggest challenges that smaller churches has is a lack of visibility, and this is another place where the Google Grant really shines. Where larger churches probably have buildings that you're familiar with and big signage that people drive by, smaller churches typically function as best kept secrets and people don't really know about them, but the Google Grant can change that. It helps you get your church visible to more people in your area because they give you $10,000 every month to get the word out there about your church. It actually levels the playing field in a lot of ways for smaller churches, making them just as visible as the largest churches in their area. Also, one of the coolest things we've seen is that the Google Grant can help smaller churches increase donations, especially when that small church has opportunities for people to give to do some kind of a local initiative. At my church, we used to host a ministry called Laundry Love, where we would take over entire laundromats and we would help people that couldn't otherwise afford to wash their clothes once a month. Our small church had a page dedicated to it on our website, and we actually ran Google Ads to that page, and we would consistently see people giving small and large donations, so much so that we never had to pay anything out of our general church budget to run Laundry Love. Your church can do these same kinds of things as well. While you may not have the budget to do the kinds of events that you want to do in your community, if you actually create some content on your website and run ads to it, you have a huge opportunity there to really grow your budget and see donations to help you get these initiatives accomplished. For me, I have to say the Google Grant is really really the lowest hanging fruit for smaller churches. It's free money that Google gives you. Now, I do need to warn you though, the Google grant is not something you can just set and forget. It does take a little bit of management and a little bit of know-how to make it work, but we have you covered. I've actually made an entire video that'll walk you through the exact way to get the grant, optimize the grant, and spend all of that $10,000 every month.